So I was in the shower, I was cleaning my ass and making all sure all sparkly, spanky clean.
I'm not the funny one, I'm the pretty one.
Cock shots. I just checked myself out.
Candles, music, wine, and then lube up and get on top.
The glory hole's like a dick theater. I've imagined your friend.
Which means your pants had better come off. Mama needs playtime.
We're not sluts.
We just love love. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in podcast land.
Hello, suckers.
Wow, this is Mrs. Atom.
I'm always surprised they want to listen to us. And this is Mr. Adam.
And we also have the gentleman.
Hello, everybody.
Yes. So it's a trifecta once again.
Oh my god.
Welcome back to another crazy, crazy week.
That's right. This week brought to you by the letter S for sexy.
Sexy time.
We're bringing, not ST.
Oh, no, but well, it still starts with the S.
We're bringing sexy back.
Which is SB.
No, but sexy's the noun there. It's not an adjective. Sexy time, it's an adjective. Right now. Oh my god. 20 seconds in and I've already lost control.
We just like to irritate you. That's
You
all.
and you guys both do a very good job at it. I love you
Well
both.
versed.
Anyway, so welcome Podcast Land to another loving episode of By the By. A weekly podcast where we talk about sexy times and fucking in 69.
See, Sexy Times was okay there.
Yeah, that's right.
Y'all both at a 7. I need you at a 4. So, once again, here we are.
Yeah.
Want to tell everybody that we have something new out there. Everybody's seen the cum rags. Seen some of the amazing stuff that we have and we want to do.
Yeah.
We have a Patreon page.
Oh, nice.
I know, surprise. So if you want to support us in any way, you can have just the tip. You can be a pants-on friend, a pants-off friend, a friend with benefits, or a fuck buddy. Those are our different levels, and each one gets all kinds of amazing stuffs, including our undying respect, love, and maybe a 30-day trial to our OnlyFans account, because we were having so much trouble with OnlyFans that, we started Patreon.
Yes.
But
But
there
we
won't be-
still have all the sexy things on OnlyFans.
Of course we do.
Yeah.
So, yes, if you'd like to help us out and help us keep the lights on, the power going, and the sexy times sexying, then please go over to Patreon and support us. www.patreon.com/bythebye-podcast.
Yes.
Nice.
And now, on with the show.
And what is the show about this week?
It's about an hour long.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I walked right into that one.
Oh, I'm so proud of that. Like, much more proud than I saw a meme today. It was Ellen DeGeneres like basically cracking up, and it's like, and she's cracking up and cracking up and cracking up, and it's me before I even start telling a joke, laughing at my own joke. Yeah, that's totally me. We're talking about Pendulum, which happened this past Friday.
Yes.
Yeah,
What number was that?
7.
7.
Lucky number 7.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
And
exciting.
It was.
It was quite lucky.
That weekend was a fun Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yes, it
And we're going
was.
to talk a bit about each day and the sexcapades that happened. Most of us were there for most of those sexcapades.
Yeah. You only
Yeah.
missed a little bit.
I missed a little bit.
Yeah.
She missed a little bit too. I may have had some private sexy times with a young lady on Friday morning.
Which was a new thing for her.
Yeah, hell,
Yeah.
it was a new thing for me. Like alone time with a girl, weird. Yeah, I know.
How did you survive? Yeah.
Well, I tapped out a couple of times, and I tapped back in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was something that neither one of us had done, so it was kind of exciting.
Cool.
That's it? We don't get any more details?
All right,
Come on, dude.
Yeah.
Fine.
Fuck.
Well,
Don't hold out on us.
Hey, damn it,
it's like
people.
edgy. Come on, let's just do this.
Make this story come.
We've got the rags.
Yes, we do.
Now, blood all over me.
Rags to riches, bitches. She had spent the night with us. It was one of the rare times that I was the cream in the Oreo bed sandwich because Angela was exhausted and wanted to sleep, and I think she was afraid that the young lady would be a toss and turner.
Well, and I mean, as we've talked about, I don't like sharing my bed with people, and I agreed because you were in the middle.
Yeah.
But afterwards, I didn't like it.
Really?
No.
Why?
Because I don't know her that well.
Okay.
Like, because the only people I've shared my bed with, like, really overnight are either partners or, like, the gentleman. And then the only other one was just a really, really good friend that we'd known for a very long time.
So is he count as a partner now? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I would say so.
I'm in the crew.
Yeah.
I'm down with the. I'm down
Squad
with,
goals.
I'm down with the business.
Yeah. But yeah, if it's not somebody like that, it's uncomfortable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even though
Yeah. In the other
You were
room is
next
fine,
to
but like in
Bradford.
the bed, yeah, I have a weird thing about sharing my bed.
yeah, okay.
Like when it's sleeping time, like sexy, that's fine, whatever. The more the merrier. But when it's sleeping time, but yeah, I my sleeping space is sacred.
So monogamous sleeper.
Oh my god. I love him. He's a breath of fresh air. Oh, yeah. That's
Maybe.
great.
Yeah.
Monogamous sleep. I don't want to cheat on my pillow. And I don't want to share my pillow, nor my covers. Oh, that's great.
Kinda, yeah.
So that next morning, Angela went off to work, and then she and I had a little bit of playtime. You know.
So she
You're
came
still
over
not giving any
so
details.
she came over Thursday night.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then sexy times ensued.
Yes.
Stayed the Thursday night for Friday morning.
No, there were no sexy times on Thursday night.
No sexy times Thursday night.
Because
Okay.
we were bloody exhausted, because that was after the Katy Perry concert.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes.
And so that night, I mean, we got back home at
1 a.m.
1:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1:30.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, I was exhausted on Friday as well.
passed the fuck out.
Yes.
And so then got out of bed at 7 because I had work that had to get done. And I got that work done. That took about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yes, that's right. I have no sympathy for you because I had to get up at 5 o'clock the next morning.
It's not a competition, boys.
It is.
But if it is, you can piss on each other and work this out.
I do have to pee.
Damn it, I'm all out.
Gross. So it just got to the point she was like, I'm going to go take a shower. And I was like, all right, cool. And then I got up to do something, and then I sort of grabbed her and was like, mwah. And then one thing led to another, and she may have had an orgasm before we even got undressed, because hashtag that good. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. The gentleman's like, oh, yeah. And you're like, doubtful. Thanks for your undying support. And then we had a play, then had a cuddle, and then had another play, and then had a cuddle, then had another play.
So everybody sees how hard he works, right?
Yes. Relentless.
It was these 4 plays were in a matter of an hour and a half. So I'd gotten up early to work, and then
And you did work.
And I did work.
You put in some good work by the sounds of things.
He put in a solid good hour and a half of work.
so yeah,
Well, that's a good way to spend the Friday morning.
Yeah.
That's all right.
yeah, I was happy.
Yeah.
She was happy. Yeah. Like, anytime you can walk home with a limp, that's a good day. So that was fun. And then that night was Pendulum. So I abandoned lunch and all the other work because I had too much time playing, and did my real work, and then left here at about 4:30, 5 o'clock maybe, and bolted into the city, because our plan was to, actually that's not the case. We actually had guests that came over.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's right. So they came over from out of state, and then you came home, Angela, and then the four of us took off to meet you, the gentleman,
Yes.
with a couple other people at a restaurant.
Yeah.
That's
Well, originally it was a bar.
Right.
Yeah, the bar was quite nice.
But then we all realized on the way in that we could use a little bit of food beforehand. The bar we were supposed to meet at did not have food, oddly enough. Not even like little snacky
Not
things.
even-
No,
Yeah.
not even like
Not even a bowl of peanuts.
Yeah.
No, nothing.
So we went to a restaurant that was just down the road from the club that was not packed, that could get us in, which was great. The four of us, so Mr. Adam, myself, and then the out-of-town guests got there before everybody else did. So we told the waiter, we're like, we're going to go ahead and order because, we need to get our stuff beforehand. We're waiting on four others, don't know when they're going to be here. Let's go ahead and get our order in. Which was fine and dandy. The others did show up, and I think they were trying to be polite and wait and bring all of the food at once, as opposed to bringing the four of us our food first.
Yeah, that's right.
Because
So there
the
ended up
rest of
being
you were
8 of us
there.
at the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then they waited until everybody had
Yeah.
placed their order and until all the food was ready.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately meant
That at 8:22, I realized that I still had no food, and that it was 8 minutes until the club opened, and that I needed to be there when it opened because
Yeah.
it's our party. We should
Yeah.
fucking host it.
yeah.
So,
So we considered, what is it? Bird feeding you?
Baby birding.
no, we didn't.
Well, I was. So.
Oh, son of a bitch. So we took off, or I took off, and smoke bombed, and I got to the club, and when I rang the bell, Jose behind the door was like, "We were just talking about you," and so I got in, and the club was kind of a mess.
It just hadn't been set up yet.
It just hadn't been
Yeah.
set up. And what I want to say is Lawrence was on holiday, and I think all of us don't appreciate how much effort Lawrence puts into the club
Yeah.
before we even get there. So we went through, and in a matter of 10 minutes, four of us.
You got it all set up, basically.
Yeah. I mean-
so you guys got it all set up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And at that
It
point,
was really amazing. It was like a
yeah.
well-oiled machine.
And then at that point, I was messaging you because I was asking, do I need to come as well or not? And
Yeah.
and our food came a few minutes after that, so a little after 8:30 it came. I scarfed my food down, asked for a box for yours, a to-go container, and got over there probably about 10 to 9.
Yeah.
So it was about 20 minutes after the club opened.
Yeah.
And at that point, there were only a few couples.
Yeah.
So that was lucky that at least it wasn't super slammed.
it was very lucky. We had
And
one
we had
couple
a-
there exactly at 8:30.
Yeah, and I was going to say, and it was
God bless them. That's the only way to do it.
Yeah, and it's a friend couple as well. So they texted me, and I
Yes.
was like, "Do I need to come over?" Because I knew that you weren't going to give me a good answer. So
They were rewarded later on in the night.
Down boy. So so we got the club up and going. I was a little stressed out for the first 45 minutes, but I managed to calm down. It's amazing what wine will do. And
yeah, because when I got there, I basically was like, "All right, we need a glass of wine each. We're going to go to the front room. We're going to talk to our friends. You need to calm down."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, it's funny. It's the little things that really bug me. The one thing that really bugged me was people were coming in and I wasn't dressed yet. I was still
Right.
in jeans and a button up, which I looked nice, but I wasn't in the clothing that I wanted to wear, which was a latex
Yeah.
shirt and my really shiny
you
motorcycle
looked good.
pants.
That
Thank
was
you.
a great outfit.
I'm so excited.
But once I got there, you got changed.
Yeah.
we got some wine.
Yeah, and
Went
it
to
was
the
fine.
front.
It was fine.
Yeah.
It all evened out. But
Yeah.
I was a little on the stressed side, just a little. Yes. So we went up front and had a chat, and we wondered. It seemed like you took forever to get there. I don't know.
Yes.
If it just took forever to finish the meal and get everything
Yes,
settled
it did.
up.
Yeah, it took a long time, and even after Angela left, it still took probably 10, 15 minutes for the remainder of the food to sort of come out. And then by the time we'd finished our drinks and whatnot,
Yeah.
and to mosey down, I think maybe we were maybe half an hour after you kind of thing. Or,
Yeah, because I remember you got. It seemed like 9:15, maybe 9:30 by the
Probably
time you
closer
guys
to
got
9:30,
there.
I would
It
say.
felt late.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I'm so used to you being there at 8:31.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
"Where's my gentleman?"
But at least he was in good hands, though. He was with a lot of other friends.
Yes, he
So-
was.
Yes, I was with a lot of other sexy
Yes.
people, which was I somehow managed to get through, you know?
The struggles is real. The struggles is real.
Oh my goodness.
So, yeah, we got the club set up, got set down, started talking to people, and immediately, like, oh, hello. It was all friends, and they're all beautiful, sexy, wonderful people.
Yeah.
And they just, it seemed like for that nice half-hour period, everybody that walked through the door was like, hey, you knew everybody who walked in, and it was such a great vibe straight away for me. Anyway, that was my experience of it. It was fantastic,
and I love
such a large group.
And there were even a few couples, at least 2 couples I know, that were at the last Pendulum party and hadn't been to the club since the last Pendulum party. And so it was good to see them again.
And that's exactly what I was just about to say. Was there was a couple waiting when I was going down to get dressed. There was a couple at the bar getting ready to get a drink, and you know I'm terrible with names. And so they were like, hey, Bradford. And I was like, oh, hey. And I recognized them immediately. It's like, how have you guys been? And they're like, oh, we're good. But we haven't been to the club since the last Pendulum party. Yeah. I was like, well, I'm so glad you're back. I'm so glad you're here. And, you know, it really was. I love stuff like that. To see people. And it is this really great sort of community. That has been built with Pendulum Party. So, yeah, that was kind of... That's kind of cool.
It does feel that way too. It was just really good.
And the other neat thing is you have new people that come in. That maybe they haven't been there since the first couple of Pendulum parties, but they've been once or twice, or maybe I know a couple of the couples. It was their first Pendulum, and they fit in perfectly. And it's just this. It's this wonderful mentality of openness and acceptance that somehow Pendulum Party draws these folks.
And it's interesting because whether they are people that go to the club regularly, whatever regularly looks like for them, been to Pendulum parties before, not newbies, it doesn't matter. Everybody just gets along so well. There's such a positive vibe, and like you said, just acceptance, and it's really awesome, and that's what we really like about it.
Yeah, and what I've also found as well, even when I mean you know, I don't want to say outsider, but to somebody who is outside of that group of people, it could be intimidating to walk up to a group of 20 plus people who all know each other and all communicating, you know, in a circle kind of thing. But everybody's really kind of inclusive. Yeah. And if there was, I mean, a couple of times there was somebody sitting on that kind of seat underneath the stairs.
Yeah, the ottoman thing.
The ottoman thing, and it's kind of a little bit...
It's a little separated.
It's a little separated.
Because there's a walkway in between.
Yeah, although there was a conscious effort by numerous people in the group to include those people, that couple sitting on the ottoman. To say, come in here, it's okay, like, you know.
Yeah. Or even to make a small group around there, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, I can remember very vividly at one point I was sitting there and looking around and seeing, you know, everybody was engaging. There wasn't a single couple that was sitting by themselves and not engaging.
Yeah.
And that was awesome.
Yeah, so we were in not the very front room, but the front room, like you said, at the bottom of the stairs, just up from the hallway from the bar. We were there for quite a while talking to some friends and stuff, and other people that were coming in, and at some point then we were like, oh, we should go be social and kind of roam around a bit. So we moved to the very front room where there was this whole other heap of people up there.
And again, there are another large group of people that we know, most of them. And, it was kind of cool. You know, it's like, oh, come here, sit here with me. And so they like I sat down in between two of the fellas.
In the corner,
In the corner. And then when you came in, I was like, oh, I'll just sit on my lap. And they were like, no, we'll make room. And it's like, screech.
You're like, oh?
Yeah. The only problem I will say with that is that because it was that very front room and there were so many people up there, it didn't take long before I started to get warm. And I was squished in between people. So, A, it was getting late. B, I was getting warm.
It was 10:20.
And so I was like, it's hot, it's late, it's time to dress down.
So
we need to move this party along.
And again, 10:21.
Honestly, babe, I'm not throwing shade here, but when you're in the club, you're more precise than an atomic clock. So you're like, I'm going to go get dressed down, and I think other people should join me. And you just get up and just march out of the room. And some of us kind of looked at each other and went, all right. And so like half the room follows you. And then you walk into the other room, you're like, I'm going to dress down. I think y'all should follow me. And then people look at each other, and it's just like, who are you, the fucking Pied Piper? Because you go marching along, and then everybody's following you like little puppy dogs.
It works.
Yeah.
So we all get down there, we start
Because
undressing.
everybody's waiting for something to happen.
Everybody was waiting for
Yeah.
the catalyst just to go.
Yeah.
Well, you mean the clock.
Oh, thank God.
The human clock. So we get down, we do a quick change. Well, you and I did a quick change. One of the ladies had some very complicated lingerie. So the gentleman was a gentleman.
Yes, that's correct.
And-
well, I did sneak a peek.
And was trying to help her get changed into her lingerie. You know, we're gonna switch your official name to Slutterella.
It wasn't my fault. His damn eyes.
Damn you eyes! Damn it, Emery! Hand me my eyes so I might furrow my brow. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a complicated outfit.
I don't want to name.
She looked amazing when it was on.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, it did.
It looked great.
Stunning. However,
Yeah.
I think it took you guys 25 fucking minutes to get
jeez,
changed.
It did. Yeah.
Which is, it's adorable. And she looked amazing.
She looked amazing,
Yeah.
yeah.
But seriously, 25 minutes to get changed. It was, and it wasn't like there was that much fabric there. It was
There was
basically like
no
you
fabric on it.
It's
built
straps.
macrame around her
Yeah.
body.
Yes, yeah.
It's straps and hooks and whatever's, yeah.
Yeah.
But it looked awesome.
It looked awesome.
So a couple
It was
other
worth the effort.
standouts were one of the ladies made her own strappy top,
Yeah.
and it looked amazing on her. He ended up putting on the halter that she was wearing, and he wore it the rest of the night. So when she took that halter off,
okay.
he goes, I want to see how it feels on me. And so he put it on, and fuck if he didn't look good. Like,
So can I tell you, I was in the change room and he walked in, and I said, "My God, that looks amazing." And he goes, "Oh, thanks, my partner made it." And I said, "Get out of town, really? Like, it looks fantastic." And I said, "Can I try it on?" So I tried it on as well.
See, it's unisex. There you go.
it was honestly,
It felt great.
it looked great on her. It looked amazing on him. She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I'm as a absolute flat statement, she is gorgeous. I think it looked better on him. There, I'm going to say it.
They're both gorgeous.
They
Yeah.
really are.
Yeah.
I
They
mean,
really are.
crush worthy, aren't they?
Another standout outfit. There was a lady there. She was tall and thin, and she had
Yes.
it was basically like a black bra and then a very, very short little black mini skirt, just as tiny as can be. But over that was this kind of, I don't know what it was made out of, but it was this mesh dress over it. But it was this kind of charcoal or black color. I couldn't quite tell in the lighting.
Yeah.
It seemed a bit glittery. Like it was very sophisticated looking. And it looked so good on her.
I agree. I remember that one.
Yeah. As soon as she walked in the room, we were all like, "Oh, that's
Oh, yeah.
hot." Yeah.
Then I would also say one of the fellas had these awesome boots that came up knee height. They were kind of lacy, leathery, strappy. They had a huge heel on them, but also were
But also a
platform.
huge platform,
Yeah,
too,
I mean,
yes.
and it's funny because
He was so tall.
Well, I'm used to him being about my height, and he was.
He was my height.
Yeah, he was your height. I was like, oh, you're not that much taller than me.
Of course not, Shorty.
Such a bitch. Okay, you're at an 8. I need you to shut the fuck up.
Hey, you moved up from a 7.
Always look on the bright side.
Move
I
it
love
up. Yeah.
So yeah, and those boots were fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Loved those boots.
Yeah, and that's the fun. Is it's great people watching to see what everybody's wearing, both when they're clothed and I'm going to say quote unquote normally dressed, and then when they dress down. It's just so much beautiful lingerie. It's just so many pretty pieces come out,
Yeah.
and it's just amazing. And everybody just owns it. Like this, yeah,
Next time we'll do a red carpet event.
that could be fun.
That could be fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool. Ooh, ideas.
yeah.
So, yeah, it was. So everybody, we all dress down. We all go back to the social areas, and You guys finally got her in her strappy outfit dress.
Yes.
The gentleman there.
Yes.
And I think that you guys came in, had half a drink, and then Angela did her Pied Piper-ishness again.
Well, because we had gone back up to the front rooms and we're being social, but everybody's dressed down, and so there was lots of touching and flirting and maybe some light kissing, and it was like, all right, everybody's ready. Like, come on, we're all ready.
So you stood up and said, I'm going to the orgy room. You're following me? You were like Oprah. You get to follow me, and you get to follow me, and you get to follow me. You all get to follow me. And so you just start... You don't even wait to see if people follow you.
No,
you just march on.
People
and
behave very well.
You blanketly assume
Yes.
that people are going to follow you.
Yes.
Which is amazing, because people blanketly just follow you. And you marched on.
And the orgy room, when we... Because you got in there first. Was there anyone in there?
Nope, it was
Wow.
completely empty.
Because
We
it
went
was
from-
completely full.
It went from completely empty to 22 people, I think.
Nobody had been in there yet. The beds were untouched.
What I loved, that was one of the great parts of the evening. Because I was in that group in the middle room.
Well, okay.
And you walked up and said, yeah, that's it, we're going to the orgy room. And everyone was just... The look on everyone's faces was just like, that's a great idea.
So I just marched my
we
little
all
self
marched
down
up
the
there.
hallway.
But then,
up the stairs.
when we got upstairs, because the glory hole was set up.
Do you have something before we get
I was
upstairs?
going to say real quick.
Okay.
On the comment of the parade of people, there was one of the ladies behind the bar commented later, oh my God, I have never seen so many people stampede past the bar to go up to the orgy room and not stop and ask for anything. It was like they were
Let's
on a
go.
mission.
Yeah.
And she goes, Angela's like the Pied Piper of Hamelin. She's like, she just blows her whistles and all the little rats follow. So, yeah. So, Glory Hall, go.
Glory hole. Okay, so the glory hole was set up,
Yes.
and everybody wanted to use it.
No.
It seemed
Everybody
like
wanted to be on one side.
Everybody wanted to be on one side of it, and it was the inside of it. Now,
Yes.
at one point, there were
So-
Four of us in that little
at the-
bathroom.
at-
there were four of us in the bathroom.
So at the very beginning, there were four of us. There was myself, another gentleman. There was you,
Yes.
gentleman, and then there was Bradford. So we're in this little tiny.
We're all fighting over that hole.
No, wait. So we're in this little tiny bathroom. The other gentleman, the other guy, and I were actually like, all right, who's on the other side of this? Whereas Bradford and the gentleman were kind of huddled up in the corner next to the toilet, kind of hugging and cuddling. And then the gentleman looks at Bradford and says, "Stop cuddling! I'm trying to go down on you."
I need to be warmed up first. I need a quick hug and a love before you go straight to Final Jeopardy.
I love you. Now let me suck your dick, for fuck's sake.
So the problem we found was there were people still trying to enter the bathroom to be on that side of the glory hole.
Yeah. So two of us left. We were like, no.
Yeah, I was like,
it's-
fuck
yeah.
this shit, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
But then when I poked my head out of the glory hole room and saw what was going on in the room, I went, that's where everybody is.
Well, it's like, we don't need a glory hole if all of us want to just...
Yeah.
There's no... I don't know, we didn't...
However, by the time I turned around, I did notice that somebody ducked back into the glory hole. And I kind of thought, well, it's rude
Yeah.
not to accommodate that situation.
We all know who ducked back into the glory hole, and don't worry, we're with you.
Oh, yes. My God.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And I
Yes.
will say, as far as the glory hole goes, I did see it used later on. There were at least two other couples that I saw using it.
Yes.
And again, because it's like, when else can the women be on the other side of that? So it was kind of nice to
Fair
see
enough.
that.
You know what? I had a great experience because I was on the what is it? The receiving side,
Yeah.
the giving
Yeah.
side. What do you call it?
That's a good question.
You were on the outside.
I was on the outside.
You were on the penetrating side.
Yes. Okay. But yes, and I had another couple who I've probably been fawning over for 12 months, and they were sort of kissing my neck and sort of rubbing my body, and it was just so
That
many
sounds
good,
hot.
yeah, so many
Yeah.
good things
Yeah.
were happening at once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it
That was
just
a-
the one lady in the room?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll
at that
call her
point.
the seamstress.
The seamstress.
Yeah, because it seems like an appropriate name.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, yes, so
Okay.
the seamstress was in there.
Yeah. And he can be the seamster.
The seamstress.
The seamstress and the seamster.
But yeah, that was really good. That was one of the highlights for the night for me.
Yeah.
It was excellent because
I remember-
while that was going on, I had the view of the
Yeah.
orgy room that was just
In the orgy room, like we said,
full of beautiful human beings just
Yeah.
doing debaucherous things to each other. It
So
was
in a
fantastic.
very un-Bradford-like moment,
Oh, this was awesome.
I was very comfortable. And typically I'm not as comfortable and relaxed in that kind of situation. So I stood up in the middle of the bed. I don't know if you were paying attention at that point or
This
where
was
you
only
were.
a few minutes in.
This was
Like, right at the beginning.
We had just exited the glory hole, and I pounced basically in the middle of the bed.
Right, but I already had my face between somebody, so there's at least a few seconds.
Well, I figured you tripped and fell and just landed there. Yeah, because you were already going down on someone. I
Yeah.
don't remember who, but
Oh, I do.
but I stood up and went, "Welcome to Fucktopia. I am your king."
It's great.
It's like, you all must fuck. And then, you're like, there was a third of the people that looked at me and laughed because they all get my sense of humor. There's a third of the group that looked at me and was like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Bradford? Because
We're already fucking.
Because, yeah, they're already fucking, and they get my sense of humor, but at the same time, they're also like, God, you're just such a dork. And then a third of them were already, like, fucking, because Angela just kind of like, you know, mouth full but thumbs up kind of thing. And then one couple...
I like that thumbs up.
What did you have a thumb up? What are you, jealous?
No, because something was up my bum at that time too.
So another couple had just walked in at this point. They kind of stood there for a minute, and we're trying to beckon them onto the bed. Like, come on, we can still fit more bodies on this. It's a writhing mass. It was sort of like Raiders of the Lost Ark, all the snakes, kind of thing. And then they
Except
ended up.
you love the snakes.
Why is there not more snakes? But they started to leave, and I was like, that's right, go and create Fucktopia Annex. I don't know that they got my humor, because I don't think they actually knew me.
That's okay. It's fine.
If you're listening now, I apologize, but I needed you to go create Fucktopia Annex.
Yeah, because there's a whole other half of the building. I mean, come on.
I know! So, yeah, we started...
It
yeah.
was really great at the beginning there, and it was interesting because there were so many people so quickly up there, as opposed to that kind of natural slow progression of more and more people, that it was almost in a very, very positive way. And I will welcome this anytime, but it was almost a little overwhelming because there were so many people that I wanted to play with, and it was like, I'm going to start with you, and then somebody
Yes.
else would move in, so
Yes.
okay, I'm going to move to somebody else, and it was just that constant, but I didn't have a chance to sit down and really focus on anyone.
I know. I felt like a water buffalo.
I got the same. I had that
Which is good.
same experience.
It's
but
good in a different way, because it is nice sometimes to kind of sit and focus on someone, but this was just one of those, holy shit, there's so much awesomeness here, I just want a piece of all of it.
Yeah.
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 But I think that I think that most people in there were of that same mindset
Yeah.
because
Yes.
Yeah.
you know we had a bit of a play, and then it's like, oh, they want to have a bit of a play too.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go play with them. But it was a very sharing. Everybody wanted to share around, and that was great.
Yeah.
It was one of those things. I kept trying to take a moment and look around and sort of get this picture of what was going on, because I was like, "This is special." There's something.
Yeah.
'Cause we hadn't done that before, where we have 0 to 20 in half a second.
Yeah.
And I felt like a water buffalo in that I'm surrounded by other sexy water buffaloes, and we're just sort of migrating along. You eat a little grass here, if you know what I mean, and then you move along, and then it was just like,
And then you have a little stick over there,
Yeah.
and then...
But it was very fluid action.
Yeah.
It was very much a big puppy pile, and it was, because I would say that most people in that pile were at least curious, if not, I mean, somewhere along the spectrum.
Yeah.
And so it was very much, whatever's in front of me, whoever's in front of me, doesn't matter, male, female, what body part it is, we're going after it. It's really nice to have that just comfort with it, I would say.
Yeah.
And, just to touch on that, we had started out pendulum parties with doing wristbands for
Yes.
bi-curious, bisexual, and straight. And then we ran out of wristbands at one point, and we were like, well, let's do cups of different colors. And that failed miserably
Ugh.
because people
Yeah.
just left their trash everywhere. But then, so we were like, okay, this time we only put wristbands on the straight people. Mm-hmm. Because what we found is that the vast majority...
Sorry, just to interrupt for a second.
Yeah.
There were people with wristbands?
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, your
You played
lady
with
that
one.
you fawned over, she's straight.
Right.
Yeah, so
She
she
had
was
a
wearing a
wristband.
wristband.
Did she?
I put it on her. I branded that woman. So yeah, and it's kind of cool because I think I only saw 4 wristbands the entire night.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I honestly, I didn't even notice one.
Yeah, most
I didn't
people
even
are
notice
along
it
that
was
spectrum.
Because yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so we're just such a comfortable group that everybody was just sort of there, and it was just sort of easy, and it was
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so we played a bit, and I was not getting an erection just because I was so overwhelmed with what was going on. Rare for me, I was a little out of my depth because I was intimidated by the vast amount of like awesome that was happening.
Just the sheer numbers that were involved.
Yeah. And at that point, I was still in the middle of the bed. And I think that was my problem. It's like, I was in the middle of the bed, and I think at one point, I was physically touching 8 different people. I had one person going down on me. I had one person who was getting gone down on with his head resting on my leg. I was kissing a lady. I had my hand on one guy's chest while my hand was on another woman's breasts. And, it's like someone was just stroking my leg and somebody was rubbing my back. It was just like... I was way overwhelmed, and I kept looking over at you, gentlemen, and you were getting blown through the glory hole with 2 people like not praying, but
Massaging.
massaging
Yes.
and playing with you, and it was just like visually and physically, it was just almost too much for me.
Yeah.
I couldn't relax.
Yeah, what do I concentrate on?
Yeah. So I had to pull myself out of that situation, and I think at that point you moved from where you were to about where I was, and then I moved over to that side of the bed.
Yeah.
And then I started playing with who you had been playing with,
Yes.
and basically, honestly, that's almost the last time I saw you that night.
I started playing with the interstate guests.
Yes. Yeah. Were they even up there?
Yes.
Yes.
They were on the other side of the bed. They
That's
were on the other side from me, so I didn't play with them in
That's
that group.
hilarious. I don't even, because I even
Yeah.
looked for them at one point and couldn't find them.
They were buried
No,
under 10 other people.
That's right.
Yeah, I looked for them because at dinner they are both gorgeous human beings.
Yes.
And lovely
yes, they
human
are.
beings. I really like them a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like them too.
So, yeah.
So I was like on a mission. I heat seeking them out. Yep.
Beep, 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 boing. So while you were doing that, I was playing with Angela, the seamstress, and the seamster, and
And that was hard for me because the seamster.
it got hard for me too.
Well,
man.
I was gonna say
hard for me thinking
because
about
I started out playing with in that grouping. I started out playing with the seamster, and I mean he was awesome and fun to play with and good kisser.
yeah.
And
Yes.
but then I also wanted to play with her, and so then it was like, but I want her, and I was like, but I want. And again, it was like I don't know because I want all of it.
Why was I born with only one mouth?
Yeah, but she's got 2 sets of lips. Oh, yeah, that's
right.
true. So, yeah, she and I ended up playing, and
Yeah.
he was playing, and then I ended up maybe having sex with her, and while kissing him, which that's an interesting, awesome, amazing thing. Yeah, it was... Woof.
Yeah.
Any other standouts from that play session?
Yes, there was for me. I didn't get a good play with the lady that I was talking to downstairs. She's been to a couple of other Pendulum parties. I've always thought that maybe, I don't know, out of my league or something, or not, there wasn't much of a connection or something, but she's lovely.
Who are we talking about?
So the guy
Yes.
with
His partner.
yes.
Yes.
Oh yes.
I think she's pretty as well.
She-
yes,
so
she's
pretty.
very pretty.
She's...
And she wears some of the most beautiful lingerie.
I know, right?
Oh,
And she's,
every time I've seen her in lingerie, I was just like, that is so sexy. Like,
Yeah.
that is really good.
for me, she's one of those people that when she walks into the room, everybody sort of stops for a second and looks at her. And
She owns it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love
Yeah.
she walks in with purpose, and it's like yeah, she glides wherever she goes. I
Yes,
really like her.
yeah.
And I will say completely, she was joking about being intimidating. Like, people say I'm intimidating. People say I'm intimidating. I'm a little intimidated by her. And I don't know if she listens to the podcast, but I mean that in such a positive way.
Yes, me too. Yes.
I actually will say that now that you've mentioned it, one of the standouts for me during that play session, because it was early, it was the first big play session of the night.
Yes.
And at one point, she had people on her and she was starting to orgasm. And she wasn't being very loud, but she was being louder than everyone else in the room. And she was like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be so loud. I was like, honey, it's fine, you can be louder. And everybody was like, yeah, you can be louder.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it really doesn't matter. I mean, you're here to have fun, and whatever that fun looks
Yeah.
like for you, however quiet, however loud, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's a safe space.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really like her. I think
Yeah,
she's so pretty.
we didn't really play with each other, but we just started that touching,
Yeah.
Yeah.
just that breaking of that little barrier. And
Yeah.
to me, it was just like, oh, that's so good.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
it. Well, so for me, this is funny, and I'm gonna get a little romantic and typical Bradford in this moment. I think one of my highlights from that was you were in the shower, getting done with your shower, and I had just finished playing, and then basically I just walked up and gave you a cuddle. It was just so sweet
that was nice.
I liked that. It was
Yeah.
just like anymore. No pressure, but you're one of my bases. So hugging Angela is like feeling back to home base, and it was coming back to you. It's like, oh, this is home base. It was really nice. So
Because I was in the shower, I was watching you.
Oh, well, that explains the mess
I
of
was
erection that you had.
I was just cleaning it and it went off.
Love it. Yeah. So that was. It was a great play session.
Yeah.
Oh
That
my
was-
god.
yeah, that was really
And then
good.
what's really amazing is I think all of us sort of were like at the same time, okay, we need more hydration.
We had to hydrate, yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say there was a mass exodus, because when I left the orgy room, there were still probably 6 or 8 people up
Yeah.
there playing.
Yeah, and it definitely kickstarted other
But-
people coming in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because there were
It did.
other people that did come in.
But yeah, we all
At one
went
point, I think I
down-
counted my maximum in that room, which was 24.
Yeah. But yeah, we went down and hydrated a bit after that. Got some water, had some chit chats.
There's
Got ready for round 2.
There's a young man that was there who he's been to, of the 7, I think he's been to 4 or 5, a bunch.
Right.
And we always talk to him, and he's always shy, and I really like him.
He's super nice.
He's
Yeah.
so nice, and every time I saw him, he was basically by himself. He's trying to not be intrusive, and at one point, and I think it was right
He doesn't
want
to appear aggressive.
Yeah, I
which
I
is
looked
fair
at him
enough.
and pointed at him and said, "You go socialize, mingle." And he goes, "Oh, okay." And so he did. I was like, "Hey, he takes direction well. Good."
And Angela's the Pied Piper.
Yeah, I am just a director. Okay?
He's learning.
I'm trying. So yeah, we. I don't remember at that point. We took a break, and
Yeah.
then everybody sort of disappeared for a little while, and there was
Everybody kind of dispersed about throughout
Yeah.
the front room, the 2 front rooms, and then that other little area at the bottom of the stairs. So we did kind of all split up a bit, and there were new people that had come in since we had been up playing. I know there was one couple I talked to that had seen the talk at Sexpo, and they thought that, they were like, oh, we didn't know if we could come to a place like this, blah, blah, blah. We saw the talk about Swinging 101 at Sexpo, thought we would come check it out. And it's like, good on you. And they said that they had seen the play session up there, and I saw them watching. And we were trying to usher them in, and she was like, but I didn't know if we could just dive in, because they're new. And so she's like, I
Yeah.
didn't know what the etiquette was.
Yeah.
If I could say, hey, can I kiss you? Can I touch you? I was like, absolutely. That's exactly what you should say.
Yeah.
And so hopefully throughout the night she got, or they, I guess the 2 of them got a little more comfortable with that. But it is good though that, just again, that those talks at Sexpo just kind of, it does reach out to people,
Yeah.
and it's little by little people that are curious and think I can't do this, or I don't know if I can. And yeah, you absolutely can. Just come have fun, and that's what it's about.
Yeah,
and
it's just chipping that barrier away.
yeah,
of
and she was so
wanting to, but not knowing how to, and yeah.
yeah, and she was so positive and just and excited and ready, and it's good to see.
that first step can be a doozy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the next big thing that I remember is going and finding you, the gentleman. Oh, well, no?
There was another play session up in the orgy room. Or at least I was part of it. I don't know if you were. Because I remember one standout from this one.
Okay.
So it was a smaller group of us. I would have said probably 12 to 15, which seems odd to say that's a smaller group.
It was a small orgy, only 12 people.
12 to 15. We'll call it a midway orgy.
We were up in the room, just typical puppy pile playing, kind of like earlier, except not so just grr, kind of full on. It was a bit more, I can take time and spend a little more time with partners and stuff. And at one point, I don't know who it was, but somebody flipped me over near the end of the bed in the orgy room there. And you were on one nipple. The guy with the awesome shoes was on the other nipple because he came. There were other people.
That was a different orgy. I thought that was the original.
I don't think so.
I don't remember going back up there for that. Okay.
And so then
I remember this.
Yeah, and there was somebody going down on me, and then there was like somebody else touched. Basically, there were like hands all over the place. There was somebody going down on me. There was somebody behind me, and then you were both on my nipples. And this couple walks in at one point. They watch for a second, and they're like, "Well, she's getting a lot of attention." And I kind of looked up because I had my eyes closed, and I was like, "Who are they talking about?" Oh, yeah. I mean, come on.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah. Like, who doesn't want? I mean, come on. You have mouths and bodies and fingers and things all over you, and it's just, everybody should have that. It's like when you were touching 8 different people earlier. Yeah. Like, everybody should have that at some point.
Actually, there was a good point in the first orgy. I think someone was going down on you, and they sort of looked up and saw me, and just was like, "Hi." Had that wonderful connection of we just wave over the orgy.
I often joke about that because I feel like Forrest Gump half the time because, like, I'll be getting a blowjob and somebody will walk in and I'll see them and I'll just do that wave like, "Hi, Lieutenant Dan, you got new legs, Lieutenant Dan."
But it is fun because in those kinds of situations, we do laugh and smile and have a good time. Everybody does, and that's the point. It's not a serious thing. We're there to have fun.
And it was.
And if somebody does say something silly or goofy, and everybody just cracks up laughing because that happened.
Oh yeah,
that's perfect. I love that. Like that's how it should be.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
Yeah. I think I need to reach out to Cooper and have him create me a shirt that says "Welcome to Fucktopia." I am your king. Remind me, I'll message him after this. Yeah, so that I do remember that as well, but I remember that being part of that first orgy.
I thought it was a second orgy.
I only remember 2 orgies. That
I remember
was part
2 in that room, and then there was one
I only
the other
remember
way.
2 as well.
Yeah, so maybe
I'm misremembering.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Because that first orgy went for like an hour and 30 minutes. It was a long orgy. So it was a marathon orgy, a morgy.
I could be misremembering.
A marathon orgy? I don't know. So the next thing that I really clearly remember is coming down and fetching you, gentlemen.
Well, because we had been sitting around chatting with some folks, and at some point we realized we haven't seen the gentleman in a very long time.
Yeah, because I was in the change room with another couple, just having a chat down in there. And then a single lady who came to the club, wasn't her first time. I think it was the first Pendulum that she's come to. She was on her way out, but I started talking to her. And you know me, I'm very shy, not very talkative. So I think I spoke to her for about an hour and a half.
It was forever. It was forever. We were like, dude,
great conversation with her, but then...
Well, once we realized that we hadn't seen you in a very long time, I started wandering around to see if I could find you. Found you in the change room talking to this girl, and at first I kind of popped my head in, and I was like, came back up, and I told Bradford, oh, he's down there talking to this girl, and then I was like, he's been down there for a while then, because you hadn't walked by, and because we were sitting there right in the entrance there, so we knew you hadn't walked by, and I was like, if we haven't seen him in that long, he's been down there for a very long time. So I was like, I'm going to go suss this out. So
and the one lady wanted to see you.
Yes.
She kept requesting you and kept requesting you.
Yes.
But don't go bother him. Don't go. I just want to, he's so handsome. I want to give him a cuddle, but don't go bother him.
Yeah. And so I was like, all right, let's see what's happening down here. And if we can move things, even if something was happening down there, that's great. Let's move it up to a public area so other people can join in.
Watch.
Yeah. Watch or join in or whatever. So I went down there and I found you talking to her. I introduced myself because I hadn't met her before. And I asked her, I was like, oh, so are you on your way in or on your way out? Because I wasn't sure which way she was. She was just getting there and changing or whatever. And she's like, oh, no, I'm on my way out. And I was like, okay. So chatted for a few minutes and I was like, basically like, all right, it's time to break this up. Let's go. Not in so many words. I was more polite about it, but that was the gist of it.
Well, you were wanted.
Because you were wanted. You guys had been talking for a very long time. So it's either exchange numbers and you can get in touch later, or let's move this along.
I didn't, but I should have.
You didn't get a number.
No.
What the hell is wrong with you, boy?
I'm hopeless. So shy.
I mean, the thing. You're not shy. You're just you're pretty.
I need
you're
to
pretty.
get some business cards made up. So
You-
you guys have got your shit sorted out.
Yeah. Yeah. We
Yes.
have stickers. We just put it on one on each nipple.
Just slip the bulb on the way out. They get, oh, what's this? Oh,
Somebody temporarily tattooed me. So you went up with that couple to, work your magic. And,
Yes.
And, you and I went up to the orgy room. We were going to let you just have that nice little threesome up in the shackle room.
Yeah.
And then we were going to go up in the orgy room. The orgy room was fucking lit. It was covered
It was
up with people.
covered up.
Really?
Yes.
There's like another 25 people in there.
oh
Yeah.
my god.
And so
So we were like, okay,
Nope.
we're gonna go back to the shackle room.
So we're like, fuck that. We're following them to the shackle room. We're going to get in on that.
Yeah,
So we
Yeah.
started going out.
We're going to go to Fucktopia then.
It's Fucktopia Annex, exactly. I need a pair of underwear where that's written across the
no.
ass.
One of you needs Fucktopia, the other one needs Fucktopia Annex.
yeah, I like it.
Deal. But as we were walking out, the young fella that I was talking about who had been to so many other pendulums,
Yes.
he was up watching in the orgy room.
Yeah.
So I walked up to him and I said, "Hey, we're going to go up to the shackle room. Want to play?" And
I don't think I've seen him move so fast.
it was like the Roadrunner, where there's just a shadow outline.
yeah.
And so it was one of those things too that I did something unlike me, where I said it and then just turned around and walked away, like without even giving him a chance to respond. And he followed us up to that room, and that was fun. So it was in that room were 4 guys, 2 women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I played mostly with him. Mm-hmm. And that was fun. And watching you play with her, and her
Playing
play with
her
you.
was very fun. I think I was getting played with.
I think you were. It's
She was so
sometimes it's really like I don't want it all the
You
time.
were like a toy, and she's like,
Well, yeah.
I'm
Yes.
gonna play with
and,
you.
and sometimes it's not some. It's. I don't always want to be objectified, and I would never say like you should objectify people. But occasionally, it's nice to be objectified, and I think you were objectified.
I didn't feel like it. I
in a positive
was
way.
just giddy that I had the opportunity, to be honest.
Well, you were grinning like a goofy idiot. Every time I looked at you, it was just like, look at those big, sparkling, vacant eyes. Yeah, that was fun though to watch. And she
Yeah.
is a massive, massive squirter.
Oh yes.
That was funny because before she squirted the first time, she was trying to hold herself back, and I was like, it was late enough in the night. Like, it was, nobody
Yeah.
else was going to use that room after us. So I was like, just go for it. Just go for it. And I went and got a few towels.
Actually,
but
I remember your words. You were just go for it all over his face.
Yes.
oh yeah, that's
Is
true.
what you said.
Because you were down there. You were.
Yes, and then, but she did ask consent. She goes, "Is that all right, honey?" And you went, and then up came the thumbs up. Like,
Yeah.
that's a yes. Let it go.
Yeah,
Yeah, just do
because
it.
you were down between her legs, and I was like, I want to see this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't that great? I've done that with her before, where she just squirts all over your face. I love it.
I've never done that before, and it was quite good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a.
I've been with a woman who squirts a lot, but didn't do it on my face. But that was really good, actually.
yeah, there's something
Yeah.
really hot about that.
And it was really hot to have Angela by the side, just egging it on. Just the voice,
was-
and the way you were just
Yeah, let it
staring.
go.
Yeah, let it.
It was just so
Squirt all
sexy.
over his face. Yeah, do it. Make it squirt. And I'm like, yeah, this is great. I'm getting, I'm getting used. I'm getting told what to do. God, this is fantastic.
It's Christmas.
It's Christmas. Yeah.
Oh my god.
But it was so hot to watch, and I could see it happening almost in slow motion. It was like she wants to, he's there. We're gonna make this happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
And yeah, you did.
It happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hot. And then at one point, then after that, you were laying back and she's going down on you, and her partner's behind her, and she kept being like, "Don't make me squirt again! Don't make me squirt again!" She did.
She did.
Yeah. At some point, I got some towels, but I'm pretty sure they were useless. But again, nobody else was going to use that room the rest
Yeah.
of the night, so I was like, you know what? Just it's fine.
Just
Go
go
for
for
it.
it.
Yeah. Have fun.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
And then you and I had sex, and that was fun. Mm-hmm.
And
And
after her, I was done. That was.
Well,
that
you-
was-
Yes, that was one of the quotes I wrote down.
oh, you.
It's the only time I have ever heard you say, I'm done. I need a break. I have never heard the gentleman say that.
That's true. That's
So
true.
well done, lady.
Yep. Well deserved.
Yep.
Yeah, we need a nickname for them as well, but we don't have one.
We do. So I have 2 other quotes from the night. Do you want to hear them now?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So the
'Cause
first
that's pretty.
one,
I was gonna say that's pretty much it. We wrapped up from
For
there.
playtime.
We
Yeah.
down and chit chatted for a long time,
It
and
was-
then we
yeah, it
all
was-
wrapped up and went home.
yes. So while we were downstairs chit chatting, one of the ladies came down from the orgy room, from that whole group up there. She comes down. First of all, she'd lost her underwear, so she goes around trying to find it. Try to retrace her steps. What rooms were you in? Ends up in the orgy room. I think she found her underwear, but as she comes down the stairs, she's like, "Oh, when you put panties in your mouth and you just hope they aren't yours."
Oh my God! I do remember her saying that.
Yes.
I just love her.
And then we had one of the gentleman guests, one of the male guests, who I think is still kind of exploring and just seeing what he enjoys. He came down like this little puppy dog, so excited. He's like, "I've sucked more cocks tonight than ever in my life."
Oh, I love that too.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy. Yeah, it. I don't remember any quotes from the night other than mine own.
That's why I had to write them down because I knew I'd forget.
Yeah.
As soon as I heard both of those, I was like, down to the locker room, give me my phone. I need to
Yeah.
write these down.
That's awesome.
That's just great. Yeah. Actually, I think this was one of my favorite pendulums. I think.
Yeah.
It was up there. It was very good.
Yeah, it was the first one in which
They just keep
I
getting
relaxed
better and
quickly.
better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there were just so many great people there.
Yeah.
One down point for me was that after I came down from that last play session, I met another couple who I really wanted to play with, and I was like, no good at that point. And I was like, oh, but we'll have to wait till next time.
Damn it, Willie! Willie! Willie can't hear you no more. Willie? Free Willie!
I had a stern talking to when I got home.
That's what we heard. So, from what we understand, you beat the shit out of it.
Then it threw up all over me.
Oh my God! Yeah, so that was Pendulum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it's such a great night. I was exhausted from the night before, but just the excitement gets you through the night, doesn't
Yeah.
it? It's just
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah. Real quick, do we want to go over the dirty
The rest of the weekend?
The dirty rest of the weekend?
Yeah, let's talk
Yeah.
about that.
Awesome.
So the part that the gentleman missed out on
The
was
Saturday night.
the next morning.
The next morning.
The next
Yeah,
morning
with
because
the out-of-towners,
Oh,
they
yeah.
stayed with us.
Right, yes.
yeah, so the out of towners stayed with us, and
Spunky Monkeys.
The Spunky. Oh my God, I love it. Yes, that is their name, Mr. Spunky Monkey and Mrs. Spunky Monkey. I love it.
yes, all right, we'll go with that.
Done. So yeah, look, we just to fast forward so we don't take up too much time. We were all laying in here. She and I were cuddling on the couch. I'm just gonna say, she is the second best cuddler I have ever cuddled with. Like, she's
Mrs.
amazing.
Spunky Monkey is an awesome cuddler.
Mrs. Spunky Monkey is an amazing cuddler. And then, we're gonna get the. Somebody's got to breathe.
Got them all excited.
Yeah, I got him all aroused over there. He's, yeah, take your Vitamin. Take it. So, Mrs. Spunky Monkey and I were actually completely clothed and cuddling on the couch, while you and he started out making out on the couch, and then quickly
That's
slid
not how
into
we
the
started
floor.
out. There was some light touching. He might have started giving me a little back rub and massage a bit. Yeah, it didn't
Kissing
take long
your
for the
neck.
clothes to come off.
Next thing you know, you're naked on the floor,
Yeah.
sucking his cock. I mean, you're right. You weren't.
Just a Saturday morning.
Another Saturday morning in the land of love. And so she and I were just watching, and it was great.
Yeah.
And then she kind of turned a little, and then she started rubbing her ass up against my junk. And typically, that is for someone who's not you, that's not going to get me aroused. But I think between her gyrating movements and watching the two of you go at it on the floor, suddenly My Willie was like, well, hello. And I looked down and I was like, well, hello.
Yeah, go for launch.
Yes, for real. And so, yeah, she rolled over and we started making out, and oof. That was some amazing sex. I went down on her for quite a while and got a good orgasm out of her on the couch, and then she was like, let's go suck his cock. And I'm like, okay.
There was a lot of teaming up on people
Yeah.
and a lot of switching around. And at one point, there was a little daisy chain of bodies.
Yes.
We may have a picture
We
of
do
that.
have the picture of that.
Yeah, it was just one of those puppy piles in a much smaller, in a foursome version, but it was the same kind of a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and just, yeah.
A little bit of
Oh, jeez. I was hoping nobody would pick up on that.
Yeah. A little bit of Angela in my mouth. It was that was awesome. I think that we gave him a triple blowjob at one point,
Yeah.
which was fun.
Wow.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
that's great.
Is that on your list now?
That's on my list, yeah. The Chicago waffle.
Fuck you and your waffles.
We're hiding all the laptops.
Well, we don't want it to be a crap top.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, that ended up being amazing.
Yeah.
Because, there was so much oral, and it was like, it didn't matter, you just put your mouth on someone,
Yeah.
and that was what was going on.
It's just touching and the feeling and just
Yeah.
the bodies.
I just love that. That's
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be penetrative sex at all. In fact,
No.
there was very little of that. It was just the touching, the oral, and it was...
But just that fluidity of it.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah.
There's no hang-ups or...
No.
Well, there was some penetrative sex.
There was
'cause
some.
She rode me like
Yeah.
I was a bull.
And I had penetrative sex with him, but that wasn't the focus.
No, that wasn't the
Yeah.
focus, but she rode me like I was steer. And let's just say we both lasted a little longer than 8 seconds.
8.5.
Not much longer. It was great. But yeah, she was going down on me at one point. And I was like, I'm not going to be able to hold this out much longer. So yeah, she stopped. Which is probably best for all of us. Anyway,
Yeah.
so yeah, then
So that's Saturday morning taking
That was
Yes.
Saturday morning.
Yes.
Right.
And
And
then
then Saturday or Sunday night, the three
yeah, well,
of
so
us.
Saturday night you and I stayed at home.
Yeah.
And we were going to go to the club, decided against it. Mm-hmm. Then Sunday, this one, I'm pointing to Angela, woke up and she was like, well, part of the problem is she had sugar. And she was like bouncing around the apartment, touching herself, and like, I would be like,
So was the problem you ran out of sugar?
God damn. Well, the problem was you weren't here because she kept saying, "Where's the gentleman? I want to go into the city. I want to go shopping. I want to take him to Max Black."
Yes, because we had planned.
And that's about
on-
how quickly she was talking.
We'd planned on having an afternoon and evening with a gentleman, and I knew that I was just ready to get things going
Because
because
she kept touching herself. Like every time I walked into the
Yeah.
room, she was masturbating. I'm like, seriously? What are you, a 14-year-old boy? Yeah, he finally got here
Yep.
with a box of porn.
he
which
delivered
we'll
all the
discuss-
porn that was given to us.
We'll discuss later.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we went to Max Black, bought a couple of butt plugs.
I got a latex top.
You got a latex top.
That was fun just watching you
Yeah.
try out a few things.
I kind of felt bad for you at one point because you were holding everybody's jacket.
Oh no, I was fine. It was good.
Yeah.
He's the coat rack.
He was the
Yeah.
human coat rack. Yeah. And then we left and went to the Sofitel, which, if anybody's interested, was rated the room that we got was I found out later was in the class category of the top 10 rooms in the world to be naked in.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Because from that room you can see all of Darling Harbor.
Yeah.
You can see North Sydney. You can't see the bridge. You can see a bit of the bridge because of buildings, but it's an amazing view.
Yeah. It's just gorgeous.
Does that list extend to one of the top 10 rooms in the world to have a threesome in?
Well, I think it should.
It
And
should.
if
That's
it
now going to be a
doesn't-
new list.
Yeah. And if it doesn't, it is now because we took. Do you know how many pictures we took?
No.
420 pictures.
You're kidding, really?
No, yes.
But there's also a lot of repetitiveness.
I love
but still.
that you have to. I mean, because they're still individual pictures.
They
Doesn't
are
matter,
still individual pictures, yes.
and each picture is a little different.
True. Fair
so,
enough.
yeah, 420 pictures. I downloaded them all to the computer.
Cool.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
a lot of photos.
We have a lot of stuff
Yeah.
to go through. So, yeah, and then we had the great butt plug race.
Yes, so when we were at, which we'll talk about these butt plugs on a future podcast, but when we were at Max Black, we bought his and her butt plugs, and when we bought them, Bradford made a comment about, I bet I can get this one in before you can get yours in, because his was bigger than mine. Of course, he's more experienced than I am. And so it was a bit of a challenge, like the gauntlet had been thrown down. And so whenever we decided to try out the butt plugs later that night, now, admittedly, I wasn't racing like race, like gotta win, which I mean, I am quite competitive, but at the same time, I don't want to tear anything or damage anything. So I wasn't, I wasn't going to go like, if I lost that race, okay, I'm completely fine with losing that race. However, when we did start putting them in, I did win, because I started putting mine in, and I looked over at you, and you were like on your phone and whatever, and I was like, oh yeah, I got this, and I put it in, I was like, got it, and you're like, god damn it, I haven't even started yet.
Well, it was very much a tortoise and the hare thing, because you'd started the race and I was taking a nap.
You weren't taking a nap, you were on your phone, you knew the timer had started.
Well, the hare knew the timer had as well,
Yeah.
so there you go.
There you go.
Okay,
all right.
stop arguing. In the end, I think I won.
That's
Because
right.
I got to sit back and watch it all happen.
And then you reaped the benefits of it, because at one point I was penetrating Angela,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
then you were penetrating me. So
Yes.
it was definitely a cream in the Oreo sandwich there that I
Yep.
like being.
Yeah, that was good. Oh, and we tried out the ropes for a little bit as well.
Yes.
We wanted to
Yeah, so we have a shibari rope that admittedly we haven't done a lot with, just because time.
The gentleman has already done more with it than
Yeah,
we have.
and so we brought that along, and the gentleman did a few basic ties and some stuff there. And
On
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
that
was
was fun.
Yeah.
We got photo proof of that.
Yeah.
This room was amazing, by the way.
This
Oh, God, yeah.
it was
Floor to ceiling
fantastic.
glass.
Floor to ceiling glass.
31st floor, looking out on Darling Harbor.
Oh, it was
A
amazing.
huge bathtub.
Yeah.
The pictures will be posting probably for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Bunches of pictures. Yeah, kind of awesome.
Yeah, the bathroom was incredible. The shower was great. The views from everywhere was just amazing.
So yeah, that was
It was a fun night. Yeah.
It was a fun night. It was really good.
I will say it's funny because I felt a little guilty the next morning because I was like, we had this room for 6 hours really, and we took
Well, and sleeping.
right and sleeping, but we took like a million photos and only had sex for like 30 minutes. But it was like
But the pictures and the taking of the photos, that was kind of like foreplay.
yeah, definitely.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah, there's a lot of lead up and build up
And that
and
was fun.
tension.
That was
and-
fun.
It
Yeah.
was fun. It
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
It
as
was
well.
just a nice little treat, something different. Yeah, just go in the city and have a sexcapade there.
Yeah, and it was cool. Just with the photos, we just discovered a few different angles and a few reflections and things that
That were just-
it was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, that was fun. I still like the horror film one. I can't wait for Halloween so I can post a few of those. Of
Yeah.
Angela
Yeah.
and
Oh,
myself.
that'll be a good Halloween, yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So yeah, Pendulum was awesome. Pendulum Weekend was awesome. It was just orgasmic. It was an orgasmic weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I will say I hit a record for me of sex with 4 different women and 6 different men in a 24-hour period.
Wow, you really do love love.
I just love at the same time you had your hands
He's
up.
counting. Yeah.
I'm just counting. So 4 women.
What were your
6
numbers,
men.
Flutterella?
Sorry,
What were your numbers?
a gentleman never tells.
Oh. All right, so
It's because I can't remember.
do you remember yours?
No, I have no idea. I don't keep track of these things. I just enjoy.
That's hilarious. I keep track of it. It's always in my mind, consciously ticking over numbers.
Now, if I thought hard, I could come up with close, but I just enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's over there thinking
Yeah.
hard.
The number doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, the number doesn't matter, but it's still interesting.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, if
Yeah.
I were to try, I can't even try. I don't know.
It's like, if I were to try, it would probably be tomorrow.
It's gonna
that I would
take.
do
It's
that.
gonna take too much time, and it's too hard.
Yeah.
Too hard.
I think it would have been 4 women and 3 men.
Wow, I outslutted Slutterella. Woo.
Well, that would have just been on Pendulum night.
Well, it's a 24-hour period, so did you have anybody on Friday or Saturday?
No.
Well, then that's...
Well, just Friday on the Pendulum. Yeah, so that's it.
Yeah.
I say offhand, I can think of 5 women, 5 men, but I'd have to sit down and really think harder.
Offhand.
Oh.
There's a joke there. Awesome.
Well, if we're talking offhand, that puts my numbers well above that.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Awesome. So, all in all, 2 thumbs up for Pendulum.
Yeah.
2 thumbs up for the weekend at the Sofitel, or the night at the Sofitel.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we've got 6 thumbs here, so we can do 6 thumbs for Pendulum.
All right, 6 thumbs for Pendulum. But how do we have 7 thumbs? Put that away. Save it for later. Yeah, 7 thumbs, and 6 erect nipples. So yeah, and they're touching themselves. That's great.
Who needs an excuse to touch themselves? Like, come on.
Any clothing? Wow. Any clothing thoughts?
Not anymore.
Any closing thoughts from you 2 goofballs?
No.
No.
No. All right. Cool. The next Pendulum. Mark it on your calendars.
November 30th.
November 30th.
November 30th.
Yes.
Yeah.
Getting
I'm
towards
gonna
the end of the year.
I'm doing that right now.
Yep. Getting to the end of the year.
So yeah.
Exciting. Yeah.
I know. We'll have just gotten back from Desire.
Oh my God. Yeah.
We will probably still be a little sunburnt and chafed from all of the naked sex we'll be having in
It'll be like
Mexico.
10 days later, so we'll be all right.
Yeah.
10 days is long enough to get rid of the sunburn and chafing, right?
I love it. I hope so.
We're just going to buy Stuck in Lube before we go to Desire.
Lube and sunscreen.
Yeah.
That'd be great. So if you want to come to a Pendulum party, we are, you find your tickets on oursecretspot.com.au. We will have a ticket link probably, November.
October sometime.
Sometime mid-October is
Yeah.
my guess. And we'll have early bird tickets until the end of October.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that'd be great. Email us, theatomsoflove@gmail.com. On all social medias, we are at By the By Podcast. Where can people find you? Who are you? The Gentleman 79?
The underscore gentleman 79.
That's right. The underscore Gentleman 79.
That's it.
And that's a underscore, not the word underscore. I mean, people might actually type in THEUNDER. No. It's the underscore Gentleman 79.
That's right.
And thank you for listening to us ramble on once again.
Yes.
Remember to check out our Patreon page, www.patreon.com/bythebypodcast. We appreciate you and love you long time for all the help that you give us. Yep. Anything else?
No, I think you covered it all.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
You got it down.
I got it down. Now let's go down.
Okay.